Alright, now let me read the question one more time. Aleli wrote, "This video was very helpful. I'm trying to make 1-foot glides, both forward and backward, better by shifting my weight on the skating leg. Do I need to slightly bend my knee? Also, trying to do 1-foot glides on a circle. You are right when you mentioned about off-ice training. I strength train at the gym at least twice a week. It really does make my body stronger and prepared for falls on the ice. Thank you, Oleg. Looking forward to practice again soon. Please continue sharing skating tips." Okay. So when you're skating on a circle, we're going to look at that. So these are two different questions on episode 119 and 118. So now in this case, first question I'm going to answer is, I haven't tried backward outside edges. Do I need to raise my free leg higher so I don't fall backwards? If you haven't tried backward outside edges, I wouldn't try them until you're comfortable doing straight backward 1-foot glides. And then what you want to do is, you don't want to be doing like episode 118. That's a pretty advanced exercise, and you're going to do a lot of falling if you just go straight into it. Instead, we're going to look at a basic backward exercise that we can do. Let's take a look real quick here. I'm going to set it up. Alright, and let me switch this over. Okay, we're on my website, icedanceroleg.com, and then we're going to go down to videos. By the way, you'll be happy to hear I have been loading the videos, and though you can't see them all, they're up on the site. I just haven't finished doing all the web pages for it, but soon you're going to be able to see all the updated videos, and you're going to be able to just come out here, watch them commercial free, and then that way it's for a quick and easy access. Anyway, we're down here. Now we wanted to do, let's look at edges. We're going to go playlists. And then, let's see here. Edges. Here we go. Episode 31 is the one. Well, actually, okay. Why don't we actually go to episode 3 instead and take a look at that, and then we could also look at episode 31. Both of these would help. And to answer this question, I'm just going to read it one more time. Actually, I remember the question. So basically, Aleli asked, what about doing backward outside edges, basically. So this is how you want to approach that. Let's look at episode 3. The moves in the field system by U.S. figure skating is actually very effective at developing skating skills. So if you're ever in doubt, practice the moves. Okay, so here I'm doing the forward insides. We're just going to skip this. This is the backward outsides. Okay, so let's look at how we are going to set this up first. I'm just going to make sure that you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, because I wouldn't want to be just talking and not... Okay, yes, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Okay, good. So now, you want to pigeon toe your toes like this. Hang on. Okay. There you go. You want to pigeon toe your toes, and what you're going to do is you're going to push back, and you're going to glide on the outside edge. Now, in order to push back like this, you can do like a half swizzle pump, like a backward half swizzle pump. Think about a swizzle, but instead of a full swizzle, do a half swizzle. And you practice those on a circle. If you don't know what a backward half swizzle pump is, you shouldn't be doing backward outside edges. I mean, if you haven't practiced those, then it's just, this is too advanced stuff right now. So don't rush into things. I just want to point this out. When you practice exercises, they have to be doable. You have to be able to do these things, and don't do anything crazy. If you're doing something that's just too much, you're not going to do anything effective. They should be challenging but doable, because otherwise you're just wasting your time. Okay, now moving on. We have our body to the circle we're on. There are other ways of doing it. You could also have your body and hips square and then just hold it around. In this case, I have a body to the circle I'm on. Toes pigeon toed. We're going to bend our knees, bend our ankles. Press. Now, You want to have your body weight in here, pushing from the heel, rolling to the ball of the foot, like this. In this case, I'm keeping my body to the circle I'm on. You don't have to do that. You could go this way alternatively, and hips and shoulder square. What you don't want to do is unravel this shoulder too quickly. You don't want to swing this around. Sometimes when skaters work on backward outside edges, they think that they have to pull the shoulder around to get around, and you actually don't. If you just push properly and you just stay on your edge and maintain it, it'll naturally curve around. But if you try to open up, you're actually going to twist yourself right off your edge. You don't want to do that. All right, so now we're going to push and go. Now, in this case, again, you could have different knee and ankle action. You could have different free leg, different upper body. In this specific case, what we're doing is body's on the circle, and the leg is following the same tracing as the skating foot. You can't really see it from this angle, but trust me, if you were standing right in front of me right here, you would see that these are on the same circle, like this. If I was to draw the circle, it would be something like that. Okay. And then going on, bring it in, switching. I scissored my hands. Now, I opened up my shoulder now, but it wasn't too soon. I did it at the halfway point. If I tried to do it too early, I would have curved in on it and it wouldn't have gotten me anywhere. You bring it in, press, bend. By the way, this is for Aleli. This is how you want to start practicing your backward outside edges. If you can do a solid backward 1 foot glide on either foot, if you can just glide in a line, then this is an exercise that you can probably start working toward. But if you can't comfortably glide indefinitely on a straight line backwards, practice that first. All right, so then we're going to press, push back, we're going to rotate, open up. Again, press, push, rotate, bend, push, rotate. Okay, good. This is how you finish. You bring your, now there's any number of ways you can finish. For instance, you can cross the foot in front and step in this way. In this case, what I'm doing is I'm bringing my feet together like a T, pushing out, and then stopping in a T. Okay, now something I want to point out, if you are practicing moves in the field, you have to think about 4, 5, or 6 lobes. No more, no less. You don't want to do 3 lobes, and you don't want to do 7 lobes. And this is, you do this using the blue, red, or the other blue line. I mean, in principle, you can draw your own line. But if you're doing it down the short axis of the rink, and you're thinking of proper moves in the field, 4, 5, or 6 lobes. Okay? Let's move on. Now, I wanted to show you episode 31. By the way, I'm going to be making a lot more edges videos for you. I think something like 75 to 90% of my YouTube audience is looking to work on getting their edges a lot stronger, so you can look forward to seeing a lot more edges exercises in the near future. And when I say edges, I don't mean just the difficult stuff. Like the past couple of episodes, except for the recent one that I put out today, those were pretty advanced edges for the most part, except for the 1 foot glide. But I will give you easier exercises as well, because I'm trying to make sure that I cover everyone. I want to make sure everyone has something to watch, something to learn. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this right here, by the way, you can do this with a puck. You don't have to do this with a puck. That's a great exercise for kids. Kids often have no fear, but they have less control over their upper body than adults. And one thing that works wonders is you put a puck on your head, and then you do this control exercise right here, and you will be amazed how much control a person can develop, just the sheer awareness of it. Sometimes being forced to hold something or balance something can really improve one's awareness. But that's for people that have a good amount of speed, but very little control. In general, as you get better, you want to emphasize more and more and more speed and power and flow, speed and power and flow. You want to keep increasing your control, but at the same time, it's all about the power, the speed, and the flow. You need those, because that's what's going to separate you. That's how you're going to stand out from the pack. All right, so now this is a great exercise. I've done the same thing in yesterday's episodes when I showed you how to do that off ice, and I showed you on ice. Now we're doing it on the ice. Now in this case, I'm just going to pause this. You don't have to do the fancy leg thing that I was doing here with the leg passes on the circle. That's quite advanced. If you're just learning your backward 1 foot glides on an outside edge, hold this position, just right here. Do a half swivel pump, and then afterwards, you're just going to balance yourself out, square off your shoulders and hips. You want to try to trace a circle. You want to see it with your peripheral vision, so you're looking this way, but your awareness is out here like that. And also, make sure that you're aware of who's behind you. This is a very easy way to plow into something or someone, and you don't want that because you're going to get hurt, they're going to get hurt. You don't want that. So always be aware of your surroundings. So let's watch. If you just hold this position, it's great. Count to 5, trace it, switch your feet, do the other foot. Now in this case, I'm doing it with the leg. This is slightly more advanced. Let's watch. Pass, pass, together. Now, when you bring your feet together, you rebend, press, then I pump. That's the half swivel pump I was talking about. Now watch it again. Together, half swivel pump. Again. Together, half swivel pump. One more time. Together, half swivel pump. You pump from your heel. You can do any number of those in a row to get speed. Now this is, I'm doing the passes again here. We're going to pass the leg back and forth. Now, when I pass it through, let me just show you here. From this angle, you can kind of see it. This leg is still straight. All right? This knee is straightening up. That's still straight now. There, as I come in, it's still straight. This leg is still straight. But it's higher than the other one because I'm lifting my hip. That's the key to it. You got to hike up that hip a little bit, and you can clear the ice with a straight leg by about an inch. All right, so let me continue. Pass, pass, pump. And then do the other side. You want to keep your shoulders and hips more or less square, and then you want to maintain control. And I hope that answered some questions. Practice both directions, of course. So we're just going to watch this for a little bit. All right, and then these episodes, what I'm going to do is, after I'm done with you guys today, tomorrow morning, I'm going to separate the episodes, and then you're going to be able to see them individually. So if you're tuning in now and you don't have time to watch the rest of it, you'll be able to catch it tomorrow. And that's kind of my plan. What I do is I do a video, and then afterwards I separate them into easily digestible chunks for you guys.